Imagine walking up to a luxury SUV, pulling the heavy door handle, and hearing, like, the actual mechanical click of a gun being cocked.
Yeah, it is an intense way to start a drive.
Right. Well, welcome to today's deep dive. Thank you so much for bringing this stack of sources to us today. And, we really appreciate your interest and your focused time.
Absolutely. We know your time is super valuable.
Our mission here is to synthesize a pretty enthusiastic YouTube review, a strategic Swiss launch announcement, and a detailed product presentation to give you a highly useful overview of the Dongfeng M Hero 917, or sometimes it's called the M Hero 1.
Yeah, it goes by both, depending on the market.
Okay, let's unpack this, because we are looking at a military-inspired luxury electric SUV that weighs a staggering 3,300 kilograms.
It is a massive piece of machinery, right? And its sheer physical presence is built entirely on this wild paradox. It stems directly from Dongfeng's Mengshi, or warrior military tactical vehicles.
Right, the actual military trucks.
Exactly. But with the M Hero, they are trying to bridge that rugged, battle-tested DNA with really high-end civilian luxury.
It's such a wild juxtaposition.
Yeah.
I mean, the doors are so heavy you feel like you're opening an armored car.
Right.
But then inside, you're sitting in Napa leather, you've got fine wood accents,
Right.
and massaging seats.
Yeah, and 3 massive digital screens right in front of you.
Exactly.
Right.
It is literally like putting a 5-star penthouse suite inside a tank. But going back to that gun cocking sound effect on the door handle, is that functional in any way, or are we just venturing into pure gimmick territory?
What's fascinating here is the psychology behind that design, mechanically. No. An audio track of a bullet entering a chamber is totally unnecessary.
Right, obviously.
But Dongfeng isn't just selling a mode of transportation here. They are selling an experience of absolute invincibility.
Well, wow.
Yeah, they're using tactile and auditory engagement to make you feel like you are commanding a tactical assault vehicle. That's why you have physical, airplane-style dual throttles in the center console instead of a normal gear shifter.
Oh, that explains the actual infrared night vision screen in the instrument cluster too, I guess.
Totally. It takes the naturally sterile, silent nature of an EV and injects it with this highly visceral, theatrical, military aesthetic.
Okay, so all that physical armor and Napa leather adds up to that 3.3-ton curb weight, which, brings up a massive physics problem.
It really does.
I understand how a standard 4x4 works with drive shafts and differentials, but how do you get a vehicle that heavy to actually move off-road without literally snapping an axle?
Well, it requires extreme engineering. The sources detail 2 versions to handle all that weight. First, there's an extended range version producing 816 horsepower.
Which uses a gas engine just as a generator, right?
Right, a 1.5-liter gas engine purely as a generator for the battery. But the pure electric version is the real monster. It has a massive 140 kilowatt-hour battery and 4 independent motors.
One for each wheel.
Exactly. It produces 1,088 horsepower and hits 100 kilometers per hour in just 4.2 seconds.
That is terrifying for something that big.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, speaking of that power, the sources also highlight over 16,000 newton meters of torque at the wheel. For anyone who follows cars, that number sounds completely absurd.
It's a clever marketing metric, honestly. Wheel torque multiplies the actual motor torque by the gear ratio.
Ah, okay, I see.
So it's absolutely still incredibly powerful, but stating it that way makes the number sound infinitely higher than the traditional engine torque figures you're used to seeing on a spec sheet.
So it's a bit of marketing spin on top of very real power.
Yeah, exactly.
But the actual mechanism of delivering that power is where it gets crazy to me. It's like having 4 separate expert drivers, one stationed at each wheel, instantly reacting to the mud or rocks.
Yeah, that is a great way to look at it. Because each wheel has its own motor, the vehicle has total digital control over traction.
Instead of one engine shouting orders down a mechanical drive shaft.
Precisely. Unlike a gas car trying to physically distribute power, this EV can calculate and adjust the exact spin of each individual wheel thousands of times a second.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. How do you even maneuver something this massive in tight spaces?
Well, it features independent rear wheel steering that can turn the back wheels up to 10.6 degrees.
Which must shrink the turning radius dramatically.
Well, it really does. And it also features a crab walk mode where all 4 wheels turn in the same direction, allowing this giant SUV to literally slide diagonally.
Wow. like we've seen in the Hummer EV.
Yeah, we've seen concepts like that, but Dongfeng is pushing this into the global luxury tier. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this technological flex is precisely why they just launched the 917 in Switzerland.
Right, for nearly 150,000 Swiss francs.
Exactly, and with rigorous EU certifications. They are using this halo vehicle to prove Chinese automakers can compete at the absolute highest tier of capability.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, whether you're an EV enthusiast or just curious about global tech trends, the M-Hero 917 proves electric vehicles can push the absolute boundaries of extreme utility and luxury at the exact same time.
Definitely. It proves electric propulsion isn't a compromise in harsh environments. The digital precision is actually a massive advantage.
Once again, thank you for bringing these sources to the table and for your focused attention today.
We really appreciate it.
And we want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. If a 3.3-ton electric SUV can use micro-calculated digital torque to crab walk sideways out of a ditch and safely wade through 900 millimeters of water today, how will traditional mechanical combustion engine off-roaders possibly compete with that level of precise digital control in the wild tomorrow?